Hi guys, it's Amelia here. Today I'm going to give you 5 exercises that you can do when you're not riding that will help you when you are riding. So this is a little clip from a seat clinic that I did at my barn for my students and with my friend and colleague Sue Martin. And we focused only on seat and rider position. And here I gave everyone 5 little exercises that they could do before they ride or on a day when you're not riding that will help activate the correct muscles for when you do ride. I believe that exercising and working out and being aware of your body is so important, especially for all riders. I even do it. So check these exercises out. I hope they help.
Like when you're riding, I always say sometimes you have to just think about your horse, what your horse is doing, get them right, and then you can focus on yourself. But you can't just ride around thinking about yourself all the time, because then you're not telling your horse anything to do.
That was Carolyn's question. How do I think about all this while I'm thinking about 50 other things?
Right, and I like to think like, okay, get your horse right, get your horse doing their job, then think about yourself and kind of go back and forth. Okay, so the first thing is the ITY stretch, which so much of what we do driving, our phones, we're like this all the time. And when you ride, you need to open up your chest, open up your shoulders. Pull your shoulder blades towards your spine, but if your pecs are tight, you can't do that. So this is something I do like every day when I get home. I lay on the foam roller on my spine, so palms face up. So this is I, T, and like you'll really feel here in the front of your chest, the stretch feels so good. And then Y. And you want to like lay there for a good 30 seconds, which is a long time, especially when you have no patience like I do. Okay, good. Okay, so this exercise, which I'm so glad Sue talked about, so the opening rein aid, which like Sue said, it's like a super awkward, and I think it's like a lot of us are really not so strong in our shoulders. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold this TheraBand like you're holding your reins. You're going to keep your elbow pinched to your rib cage, and you're going to rotate your hand out. So this is an opening rein aid. You're going to feel it under your shoulder blade. And like Sue said, a lot of people do this because it's like it requires a lot of strength. And you can focus on keeping one hand still and opening the other hand. And like for me, I have a problem with my left shoulder because I broke my collarbone. So on the left, it's harder for me. So I do more reps on the left than on the right. Okay?
It's important when you're doing those things to really think about your musculature and not just let your skeleton do things.
Yeah.
I think that was years ago, I did a Mary Wanless seminar, and that was one of the hugest takeaways for me is the difference between moving your skeleton and using your muscles to move your skeleton. So focus on, when you're doing that stuff, focus on the muscles that you're using.
Yeah, and if you really want a challenge, you can try and stand on this thing and do it, because that challenges your independence, that you can be balancing and move your hands. It's hard. Harder than it looks. Okay, exercise 3. I need a little. So this is, for those of you guys that have worked with Stephanie again, this is your glute med, which is like your butt muscle, basically. And so when you're sitting and using leg aids, like Sue said, your outer thigh, you want to be using kind of like this part of your leg and your butt. So you find something to stand up against. What you're going to do is you're going to tighten your low abs. You're going to point your foot at like 45 degrees and then lift that leg straight back. And you want to feel it right here. If you feel it in your back, then you're lifting your leg too high. So you want to do like 10 on each side. And that's going to help kind of activate these muscles so that when you get on your horse, you can put your leg aid on.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good one for getting that idea of independence through your hip flexors and your pelvis.
Yeah.
And also, because there's sometimes when you're riding, especially in your half passes, that one side of your pelvis is doing one thing and the other side is doing the other thing. And so it helps you to separate that and really understand that.
Okay, then the last exercise, they're all written up there. I'll help you guys with them later if you want. So this is Christine's little awesome thing. These are the reins. Okay, so be careful when you get on this because it's like kind of tippy. So I want you all to you're gonna just hold your reins, and then I want you to just play with like kind of like moving your pelvis around and try to keep like your hands perfectly still so that you can move your hips around, you can go forward and back. And like, I don't want to see this happening, like when you're moving around, like, this is your horse's mouth. You got to keep nice contact and be able to move your pelvis around. Okay. So if you guys have questions as we go through the day, I can come in here and help you guys.